Good evening and welcome to another WCBN broadcast of Michigan men's basketball as the Wolverines take on the Michigan State Spartans in another episode of this historic rivalry. Michigan enters 8th in the Big Ten with an overall record of 15-12, while the Spartans are 6th in the Big Ten, boasting a record of 19-9. MSU took the first matchup between the two back in January, 83-67. That was back in East Lansing. Both teams have been solid, but they've also had their struggles, but nevertheless, a spot in the NCAA tournament is still within reach. I'm joined here by my partner, William Gregory. And William, like I said, this game not only has implications for the Big Ten, but for the NCAA tournament as well.
Yeah, definitely. A couple days ago, Michigan and Michigan State were closer in the Big Ten standings heading into this Big Ten tournament. Recently, Michigan dropping that game to Illinois and Michigan State winning at home against Purdue has moved Rutgers in between the two teams. But this home stretch of games where Michigan has this game against Michigan State, Iowa, and Ohio State mean a lot in terms of possibly getting that first round bye. I think it's Thursday they would have off in the Big Ten tournament if they can get into the 6th seed and leapfrog Rutgers and Michigan State. Obviously, they had that head-to-head win against Rutgers at home here on the 26th. And a win here against Michigan State would do a lot. Then they'd have to win against Iowa and Ohio State. Two tough games. But Michigan has shown over the past couple weeks to end this season after a rough start that they are still able to compete with some of the more middling Big Ten programs. And it's kind of been shown that the Big Ten doesn't really have a truly elite team like we all thought coming into the year.
Starting lineups for MSU: point guard Tyson Walker, who shoots an astonishing 57% from three. Joined in the backcourt by Max Christie, the 6'6 swingman freshman. The small forward is going to be the veteran Gabe Brown, the 6'7 senior and the leading scorer for Michigan State at 11.4 points per game. Front court, number Malik Hall, 6'7 junior, who also shoots high percentage from three, 49%. And the big man Julius Marble, he's 6'8 junior, commands the paint for the Spartans. For Michigan, it's going to be the same starting lineup. Devontae Jones at the 1, joined in the backcourt by the veteran, the professor, Eli Brooks. Swingman freshman Caleb Houston mans the 3 spot. Musa Diabate back in the lineup for his second game following his suspension. Does the 4. Number 5, the big man in the paint, the star of the show for the Wolverines, Hunter Dickinson. William, from a bird's eye perspective, how do these lineups match up on paper, these starting lineups?
Yeah, obviously I'd say the key to this game is Hunter Dickinson for the Wolverines. I sound like a broken record saying that every game, but he is truly the linchpin of this offense, and it's especially so in this game where, unlike that game Sunday against Illinois, where Kofi Coburn is a stout defensive presence in the middle, Michigan State really lacks a true center, in my opinion. They have Manny Sissoko, the sophomore. He doesn't play, though. Marcus Bingham is their biggest player, but he's a little lanky. You'd like a bigger player to be able to guard Hunter Dickinson. And then the forwards, Malik Hall and Julius Marble, are solidly built, but I don't think they're tall enough to contest a big man like Hunter Dickinson in the paint.
Talk to me about the freshman swingmen matchup. Max Christie and Caleb Houston, both highly recruited out of high school, having solid years for their respective programs. How's that matchup? How do you see that playing out tonight?
Yeah, I think both of them have been a bit disappointing heading into this year. Both teams are kind of looking for that second star. Michigan State has Gabe Brown, Michigan has Hunter Dickinson, and Caleb Houston and Max Christie were supposed to come in and be immediate difference makers. I think we've seen that to a certain degree, but I don't know. We talked about this before the broadcast, but I don't know if these two players are difference makers enough right now, especially considering entering the NBA draft after this year. I think they're a little too young, but they definitely have the ability to make an impact on the game. We've seen it from Caleb Houston. We saw it at the second half of that Rutgers game where Caleb Houston was on fire to start the second half, and we've seen it a couple times with Max Christie be able to get hot shooting threes, get hot shooting, which this Michigan State team is amazing. They are one of the top teams in the country at shooting threes. Max Christie is a part of that. I think it's going to be a really exciting matchup between the two freshmen. Their shooting ability is probably tops on either team, in my opinion. So it's going to be fun.
Michigan State, as you said, William, quite an undersized team. They don't really have a true center. They do, however, make up for that with their three-point shooting, 16th in all of college basketball. And as I said, for the starting lineups, multiple guys shooting very high percentages from downtown. Another big storyline and one that seemed to define Michigan's season is the suspension of head coach Juwan Howard, suspended back after the Wisconsin game for a post-game scuffle, and he was suspended for the remainder of the regular season. Phil Martelli, the associate head coach, has stepped into the role as head coach. This is his third game. He's 1-1 so far. Had a good win against Rutgers to open up his head coaching career for Michigan. And then dropped one against ranked Illinois in what was a tough game for a tough Illinois team. William, quickly, will the absence of Juwan Howard affect this team at all today?
I think, well, obviously the absence of Juwan Howard will affect the team, but Phil Martelli is a veteran head coach. He has proven that he can do this. He did it at St. Joseph's for a long time, and I think it's not really that big of a disadvantage for him against Tom Izzo.
Martelli prepped, the players prepped, ready for the tip. Michigan crowd loud today. It's spring break for the students, but didn't seem to stop the Maze Rage from showing out. Quite a bit of MSU fans, as expected, usually happens in Crisler. Some go green, go white chants just before the national anthem. So it should be a fun one. Should be a loud Crisler tonight. Hunter Dickinson and Julius Marble will jump tip.
I think, okay, they had a bit of a scoreboard malfunction. It looked like they were delaying the tip-off, but they've got it working somewhat now. As you may see, we do have a score bug on the live stream. I got that going before the game. I beg your pardon for any difficulties we have. We're still working out the kinks, but we thought it'd be a good thing for you guys to be able to see the time of the game as well as the points being scored. So it's going to be fun to have that, but should be getting underway soon.
Michigan rocking the retro jerseys, the all maize with the big block M on the front. A good look for the Wolverines in this rivalry matchup. Michigan State rocking the classic dark green uniforms. Scoreboard's ready. Our scoreboard's ready. We're ready to go here. The ref going to jump tip. Hunter Dickinson and Julius Marble. And we are underway here in Crisler. Ball goes to Gabe Brown. Tyson Walker will take it up for the Spartans, guarded by Devontae Jones. Malik Hall left wing. Gets it. Marble up top, guarded by Dickinson. Christie on the handoff. Back around. Outside Malik Mall. Inside Marble over Dickinson is good for the first score of the game. Julius Marble gets it started here. 2-0 Spartans as he went right over Hunter Dickinson.
Yeah, we said Marble might be a bit too small, but he won the opening tip-off against Hunter Dickinson, and he makes that hook shot directly over him, too, so he might have something to prove.
Jones corner, screen from Dickinson. Jones maneuvering around, finds Dickinson in the post against Marble. Dickinson, a couple big dribbles, tries to make a spread move. Marble cut him off. Dickinson fading. Mid-range is good. A swish from Hunter Dickinson. Had some words for the MSU bench after, and the big men going at it early. It's 2-2.
Yeah, you said it. They're going at it. Hunter Dickinson wanted that shot back from Marble after his make earlier.
Walker inside, tried to draw a foul, got it. It's going to be a foul on Devontae Jones, kind of leaned into him there.
Yeah, I know we've seen that foul kind of legislated out of the game in the NBA, but with the Big Ten, we all know Big Ten refs. They're a little bit ticky-tack sometimes. I don't know if you would generally call that a foul, considering Walker leaned into Jones. Jones still offered some resistance, but it's still early. It's not like that foul was a big momentum swinger.
Walker makes the first, makes it a 3-2 ball game. Walker spent his first 2 years at Northeastern University. The second year, he averaged 19 points a game, and then came over to MSU. This is his junior year. Makes both free throws there. 4-2 Spartans, 19 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, Walker as a transfer has been a really good thing for Michigan State. Last year, they didn't really have a true point guard. Rocket Watts transferred out. Foster Loyer didn't really get an opportunity in the Big Ten. But Walker is that true point guard that Michigan State always needs. Diabate,
hook shot inside, rolls in for Musa Diabate. Right over Malik Hall. Michigan State running up quick. Brown down the lane. Layup is good. Good transition basketball for Michigan State as they caught Michigan sleeping. Brooks now wing. Fast game here. Brooks inside. Floater is good.
Yeah, it paid off for Michigan that time in the transition game, but Michigan State runs it fast. They've done it for 20 years with Tom Izzo. They always run the floor. I don't know if Michigan wants to be stuck in a track meet.
6-6 game here, 18.5 remaining in the first half. Tyson Walker up top gets it to the veteran Gabe Brown on the wing, guarded by Devontae Jones. Back up top, Tyson Walker. Walker going to work here against Brook. It's a high screen from Marble. Walker turns, finds Christie wide open on the wing from three, and he missed it. Rebound Devontae Jones. Comes Jones in transition, finds Caleb Houston, but it got picked off by Max Christie. Walker takes it back out for the Spartans. Gabe Brown now. Inside, Marble guarded by Dickinson. Marble, big dribble. Good defense there by Hunter. Wild shot there by Marble, and the Wolverines have numbers. Dickinson, corner. Houston was able to corral it. Now inside the Diabate. Back outside, Houston, wing three. It's good. Caleb Houston continues his hot shooting. something that he's very picked up on recently here. 9-6 Wolverines.
Yeah, Max Christie misses 3 badly. The first attempt he had, Caleb Houston nailed it. We'll see if the freshman can not have streaky shooting.
Brown, beautiful dump off inside for a marble dunk. As the Spartans pull within 1, 9-8 Michigan, 17 minutes remain in the first half. Beautiful play there from Gabe Brown.
Absolutely.
Houston working left side, finds Jones. Now Diabate in the post, got fouled. It's going to go on Malik Hall.
Yeah, Hall was up with him in the post. We couldn't really see it from our angle. He might have slapped his hand, but we've seen a lot of those fouls. We saw it at the end of the Rutgers game. A lot of fouls heading down the stretch.
First Spartan foul will bring a big man substitution. Joey Hauser and Marcus Bingham in now for MSU, replacing Marble and Hall.
Hauser and Bingham may be able to guard Diabate and Dickinson a little bit better.
Christie, good defense, tipped Devontae Jones' pass, drew a foul right after. MSU basketball.
Yeah, foul will be on Devontae Jones, just trying to get the ball back. Touched Max Christie and fouled him. Not great for Devontae Jones to pick up a foul this early. You see him come out for Frankie Collins. Frankie Collins will have to run the offense.
Jones' second foul.
Second foul.
Second foul of the game. That could be big.
Yeah, that's why Frankie Collins is coming in.
Yep. Collins now in. Hauser looks at wing 3 is good. Joey Hauser connects right as he comes into the game. 11-9 Spartans lead.
Yeah, we talked about it in the pregame. Michigan State hitting threes is not what Michigan wants to see. They don't want to be in a track meet, and they don't want to let up open threes. Hauser's a good shooter. He may not look like it as a big man, but he can knock him down.
Collins left side gets Houston up top, another 3. Got fouled, but he missed it. Foul's going to go on Gabe Brown as Caleb Houston has 3 free throws coming up.
Yeah, I've talked about it earlier in the year. Caleb Houston was shooting 28% from three-point land. Recently, in these past couple games, he has been lights out. He has been the shooter that we all expected him to be coming to Ann Arbor as a freshman, and I think that he has the possibility to be the second best player on this team. We've seen Eli Brooks kind of underperform in the last few games, but Houston needs to unlock that second gear to take some of the pressure off Hunter Dickinson.
Houston, first free throw is good. Awaiting the second free throw. Second is good. He's got one more coming up. Tie game, 11-11. 16.5 remain in the first half. Third one is good. So Caleb Houston perfect from the line here as Michigan leads by 1. Tyson Walker quickly to forecourt for the Spartans. Max Christie now works right wing against his fellow freshman Caleb Houston. Christie looking for somewhere to go. Gets it. Walker up top. He'll call the sets. Walker guarded by freshman Frankie Collins. Gets to Hauser, right wing, guarded closely by Diabate. Hauser's a shooting threat. Christie drives inside. Good defense by Houston. Christie jump, but it's going to be a travel. Picked up his pivot foot. Good defense there from Houston.
Looked like a good move by Christie, but he took one too many steps. He had Houston jumping, but that was for a reason. Caleb Houston wasn't expecting him to take the extra step. Good call by the refs to pick that up and eliminate a nice move by Max Christie.
16 remain here in the first half. 12-11 Wolverines. Hunter Dickinson in the post. Guarded by Bingham. Dickinson, quick turn, quick bucket. Hunter Dickinson extends Michigan's lead to 3. Some additional words from the Michigan State bench. Christie, quick drive on Brooks, goes up and misses it. Rebound goes to Michigan. It's Musa Diabate.
Michigan State still running. I think that they are playing a little bit haphazardly in the fast break.
Brooks drives, pulls it back out. Collins now. Top of the wing. Diabate corner. Drives baseline. Got Hauser to fall. Diabate goes up. The ball goes out of bounds to Michigan State. Had Hauser on the ground, but nice help defense there from Bingham as we have our first TV timeout of the night. 14-11 Michigan leads, 15.5 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, we saw Bingham block that shot there. That's what he provides. Even though he is a skinny 6'11", he can swat shots. He's climbing up the Michigan State all-time leaderboard in blocks. The one problem is that I don't think he has the size to be able to keep up with Hunter Dickinson in the post. We saw that with Hunter Dickinson's last made hook shot. That is the problem for Michigan State into this game. Hunter Dickinson is just too thick and he's too powerful in the low block for Michigan State's smaller defenders to be able to guard him. Bingham can come over and help side situations and block shots like that, but as long as Michigan State can't contain Hunter Dickinson, that's going to be a problem.
And we've talked a lot about MSU's size or lack thereof of size. And, William, would you say that the transition, the quick pace that MSU is currently playing with is due to that lack of size?
I wouldn't say that necessarily, considering, Tom Izzo's been here for 25-plus years at Michigan State, and they run fast every single year, regardless who the personnel are. I remember Nick Ward, though he's a little bit shorter, he definitely had that mass, but he could still run the floor, catch lobs from Cassius Winston. Jaren Jackson, kind of that lanky guy. Marcus Bingham is a Jaren Jackson light, I would say. But Michigan State's never really had a real center, in my opinion. It's always been kind of faster guys, and that's how Tom Izzo prefers to play, with a point guard who can make decisions quickly and with front court players who can run the floor and make baskets in transition.
State's got an abundance of point guards. Starter was Tyson Walker. Jaden Akins also gets playing time. And for the big men, like we said, they're a little bit undersized, but they can shoot. Hall, Joey Hauser, great shooters, great threats on the outside there for the Spartans.
We have yet to see A.J. Hogard. He gets involved passing the ball. I'll say it a million times. Michigan State needs a competent point guard to be able to succeed with Tom Izzo's offense. Every single deep tournament run we've seen them make, Travis Trice, Cassius Winston,
Forbes. He was a point guard, but a shooter.
Yeah, but they always need a dominant ball handler that passes into assists. Keith Appling, Mateen Cleaves, all the way going back to before I was born. 2000.
If you got to go back, go Magic.
Yeah,
right?
But Michigan State always needs a star point guard to be able to run successful offense, and that's kind of been the problem the past couple of years since Cassius Winston's left.
Also, the departure of Rocket Watts, I'm sure, didn't help. They might have had plans for him to be that guy. He leaves. Kind of got a rotation kind of thing going here.
And Foster Lawyer, too. But, those two players, they just didn't fit. Foster Lawyer, not a big enough player for the Big Ten to be able to keep up with the physicality. He's a good shot maker. He's played really well at Davidson since the transfer. Rocket Watts, I'd say more of a two-guard than a true point guard. And that was kind of his problem at State. He could pass pretty well, but I don't think he was what Tom Izzo wanted. I remember Izzo being a bit frustrated with him at times. He was an electric scorer, but in a season where Michigan State kind of lacked a true point guard, it wasn't really a good spot to have Rocket Watts in that situation.
Players back on the floor here. It's going to be Michigan State ball baseline. Akins now in.
Hogard as well.
Hogard, Hauser, Bingham, and Gabe Brown for the Spartans. For Michigan, they rock with the same lineup as Collins came in for Jones earlier before the timeout. Hauser up top, guarded by Diabate. Looking for Bingham. Instead finds Hogard. Now this is Hogard here. Driving inside on Collins. Got it stripped. Good defense by Frankie. Went off of Hogard's knee. Going to be Michigan basketball.
Hogard kind of went up weak. I think he was looking for a foul, but Frankie Collins made a nice play stripping that ball away.
Collins, the forecourt for the Wolverines. 14-11 here. Michigan, 15 to go in the first half. Collins, right wing Houston, guarded closely by Brown. It's a good matchup. Houston back up top. Brooks, guarded by Akins. Gets it back from Dickinson. Brooks drives inside. Lefty layup is good. And a scoop layup there from Eli Brooks.
Really nice shot from Eli Brooks. They need him to get going. He's been slow starting the past couple games.
Hogard works left wing. Now comes back center. Hauser left wing. Gets it inside quickly. Bingham, guarded by Dickinson. Bingham. Shot blocked by Dickinson. Excellent defense there from Hunter.
Michigan State is not a team that goes into the post fairly often. It's really been since Nick Ward that they've had a player that can go up with hook shots and make them consistently. I don't know if they really want Bingham inside. That has not been his strong suit during his time at MSU. He's already a senior.
Hogard taking it out for MSU baseline. Gets it up top. Bingham. 15 on the shot clock. Hogard runs the offense. Hogard works off a Bingham screen. Quickly right side is Akins. The lefty drives on Houston. Gets it back out left corner. Gabe Brown, left wing, 2 on the shot clock. Brown, step back 3 is off the rim, no good. Good defense there by Michigan to get the rebound.
Really good defense, and that's a shot that you're willing to let Gabe Brown take.
Collins turned it over, but got it back. Kind of lucky there. Collins cutting Brooks for the layup. A little bit of luck for Michigan as they extend their lead to 7.
Frankie Collins having excellent ball skills. He had that strip before and keeps the dribble alive after the steal attempt. Keeps it going for Eli Brooks, and Brooks already has 6 points.
Crowd on their feet here. Hauser, right wing, guarded by Diabate. 18-11 Wolverines lead.
A little under 14 to go here in the first half. Inside, Hauser got fouled by Houston. Little backdoor screen. Houston was late on it, grabbed him.
Yeah, that's a good foul by Caleb Houston. I don't think you want him against Joey Hauser one-on-one. I don't think he has the physicality to match up with him. So I'd say it's a good foul, but the problem is you already got 3 team fouls. But I'd like to talk. Michigan is doing a wonderful job stopping the Michigan State half-court offense. They usually are great in fast break, but their half-court offense leaves some to be desired. Michigan playing great defense.
Christie, mid-range riser, is no good off the rim. Rebound, Eli Brooks. Terrence Williams recently checked in for Musa Diabate, so Michigan gets smaller, kind of matching MSU's height. Brooks finds Williams right wing. Quick 3 is good. Terrence Williams right off the bench making an impact for the Wolverines, and all of a sudden Michigan is up 21-11.
He was a player they missed against Rutgers, came back against Illinois. Hopefully now he's knocked the rust off after that one-game suspension and could be a true contributor in a huge rivalry matchup.
Julius Marble posts against Dickinson, rises for the hook shot. No good. Rebound, Frankie Collins, as Michigan looks to add on to their early lead. Collins gets inside, goes up, finds Dickinson, who puts it in. Hunter Dickinson getting the crowd hype here as Michigan up 12 with 13 to go here in the first half. What a start for the Wolverines.
Yeah, I talked about Michigan maybe not wanting to get into a track meet with Michigan State, but Michigan State has not been able to get out and run because Michigan's been making all their shots. And State's been settling for, I would say, poor shots in the half-court sets. Michigan's been able to get out and run very effectively, which is surprising considering the length and speed that we thought this State lineup would come in with. But Michigan's been able to convert their fast break transition attempts, and Michigan State kind of just giving the ball away to them on rebounds and turnovers.
Michigan currently on a 14-0 run. This was 11-9 game. MSU led early. Michigan explodes here after the timeout. They lead 23-11 now with 13 to go in the first half.
And we talked about the three-point shooting of the Spartans. The key to stopping their half-court offense is to control the three-point line. With a player like Hunter Dickinson, you can sort of sag off inside and just let him go to work. But you really want the defenders on the perimeter for Michigan to be able to stop three-point attempts because that is where the majority of Michigan State's offense comes from. We've seen, I don't have they made a three-pointer yet? I don't have.
MSU. They have.
Yeah. So, but
it was a Hauser 3
Michigan's
early.
still playing great defense on the outside. Michigan State doesn't really have a prayer going inside so far today.
Marble hands Christie driving right side. Gets it back out. Good defense. Collins. Hauser now up top, guarded by Williams. Finds Tyson Walker back to the ball game. Walker, wide open mid-range for Tyson Walker as he ends Michigan's 14-0 run. Much needed there for the Spartans. 23-13 ball game. 12.5 to go in the first half.
Michigan just lost Walker there. Nice shot from the elbow.
Christie guarding Brooks high. Brooks wing 3. No good. Rebound Marble.
With 6 early points, Eli was feeling himself. Kind of an ill-advised three-pointer there.
Walker left wing guarded by Frankie Collins. Works off a Marble screen. Walker now right wing hands to Christie. Christie looking for somewhere to go with it. Finds the mid-range quick riser. Missed it. Great defense there by Houston to recover off the screen. Michigan basketball.
Tom Izzo kind of has a quick hook on freshman, and Max Christie has not looked good so far. He has the ability to knock down jumpers consistently and play well, but it's just kind of that freshman mentality. Tom Izzo gets a little bit ornery about that sort of play. I don't know if they'll be giving Max Christie the ball fairly often until he can prove that he can make shots.
So State goes back to their starting lineup. It's Walker, Christie, Hall, Marble, and Brown as Brooks. It's going to be a kick ball. Ball's going to stay with Michigan. Another media timeout coming up here. So Christie struggling early, like you said. He's 0 for 4 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3. Meanwhile, Michigan shooting 9 of 11 from the field, 2 of 3 from downtown.
Yeah, I mean, that's unsustainable. Michigan State only down 10. This game is far from over with just under 12 minutes remaining in the first half. Michigan State can easily get back in this game, especially with how well Michigan has shot and how poorly Michigan State has shot. It's just kind of they're bound to regress to the mean. But Michigan has done a very good job on defense. They let Tyson Walker get up for that mid-range shot. The mid-range shot on Max Christie's mid-range shot was contested well, and I think that's why he airballed.
As far as just getting good looks, though. Michigan's been doing great at that. They've been getting good, high-quality looks for the most part. And like you said, that Christie mid-range wasn't that good of a look. But Walker's right before excellent look and one that the Spartans need more.
Yeah, and it's just been a testament to the wing defense Michigan has played so far. A lot of the shots Michigan has gotten have been at the rim because of great transition offense. It hasn't really been because of a great half-court set. With Devontae Jones off the court especially, Michigan has been very lucky to get the transition bounces they have, as Jones really runs the offense. We'll see if he comes back on to end this first half with those 2 fouls, but Frankie Collins has played really well so far. We haven't seen Kobe Buffkin. Eli Brooks already has that early electric scoring, but I think you really need to execute in the half court for both of these teams to win this game.
Collins has been trusted as the backup point guard for Devontae Jones by the Michigan staff, and he's done a pretty good job in his freshman year. There were some talks by Michigan fans that Collins should be starting. This was about midway through the year. Devontae Jones eventually began to pick up his play, and it became clear who the starter should be. But not to take away from Frankie Collins, man. He's been great so far this year as a freshman, as a backup. And he's played well here tonight, showing why he gets the minutes that he does. And he'll be a key part of this Michigan program in the future.
Yeah, and Jones, I think it's been surprising his development in this latter part of the year. In my opinion, he goes for like a quiet, 13 points. You don't really notice when he scores. He had over 20 points against Illinois. I expected him to kind of develop more as a playmaker, but he's really been another scorer for Michigan. And like I said, it's been quiet. You don't really notice it compared to Hunter Dickinson throwing down dunks, Caleb Houston hitting threes. Devontae Jones just cuts inside, is an assassin in the floater game and shooting layups. But I think Michigan still needs a consistent playmaker. Speaking beyond this game against Michigan State, but towards the Big Ten tournament and possibly the NCAA tournament, to be consistent on offense. We've seen them kind of stagnate sometimes when they can't get it inside to Hunter Dickinson and play inside-out basketball.
And you mentioned Jones' scoring, which is a heavily underrated aspect of his game. But he came here, Michigan fans had the impression that he was a rebounder as well as a playmaker, and he's been both of those things. He's a very solid player. Does what he needs to do, very sturdy, good defender. Shot's been a bit off, but he's been hitting his shots when he needs to. A good leader on this team as well, a much-needed leader for a very young team. Players back on the floor now, 23-13 Michigan leads, just under 12 to go here in the first half. Brooks will take it out baseline. Kobe Buffkin and Terrence Williams newly checked in for the Wolverines, as well as Brandon Johns. Williams right side, guarded by Hall. Now gets the Brooks left side, guarded by Christie. Got him on the pump fake. Brooks goes, drives. Left-handed layup is no good. Rebound, Brandon Johns fighting inside. Draws a foul. Brandon Johns immediately making an impact on the offensive glass for the Wolverines, and he'll shoot 2.
Definitely. And Eli Brooks on that shot just missed it. We've talked about his hot start, but he's recently cooled off. Brandon Johns enters the game and gets fouled. He's played better as of late, too. He's played better defense. He's been more aware on the floor, and I think he's safely out of the doghouse.
Johns' first free throw good, and Brandon Johns, William, as most Michigan and Michigan State fans know, quite a storyline when it comes to this game. He's from East Lansing, but chose to go to Michigan, playing his potentially last game against the Spartans. Johns' second free throw was good. Extends the Michigan lead to 12, 25-13 the Wolverines lead.
It's definitely surprising when Johns came out of high school out of East Lansing and did not choose the Spartans. I remember a lot of Spartans fans perplexed at that decision, but it's paid off. Michigan State's got a lot of forwards. Makes sense.
Hall drives on Williams. Fading wild shot, no, but he draws a foul. It's going to go Terrence Williams. 2 free throws coming up for Malik Hall, but again, another good defensive possession for Michigan, albeit the foul at the end.
Yeah, and Malik Hall, you wouldn't expect it in a forward, but he is a electric scorer. A lot of his outbursts come when he just keeps making shots from the field. He'll go like 5 for 5, 6 for 6, or games where he just doesn't score. He's not really a true shooter. He gets inside a lot for his points, but he's definitely an electric off-the-bench scorer and can provide a jump start to the Michigan State offense. So if you're the Wolverines, you do not want to get Malik Hall going. Free throws you can let happen, but can't let him inside.
Hall makes the first, misses the second. Rebound fought for, goes out of bounds, going to stay with the Spartans off of Kobe Buffkin.
Something Michigan State always does is fight for rebounds. We see that every year. They practice in football pads early in these seasons to get the physicality to be able to battle for rebounds consistently.
25-14 here, Wolverines lead. 11 to go in the first half. Walker works against Brooks. Now left wing Malik Hall. Guarded by Terrence Williams. Got it inside Marble to a cutting Christie for the layup. It wasn't pretty, but Michigan State got the layup. It's 25-16, the Wolverines lead.
And Christie gets one in the bucket. Maybe that expands his shot-making ability after that 0-for-4 start. We'll see if the Wolverines regret letting that backdoor cut up for Christie.
Kobe Buffkin, corner three is no good. Rebound fought for, got by Julius Marble of the Spartans. Quickly to Tyson Walker, who pushes the pace. 25-16, Michigan leads. Walker drives inside on Brooks, kicks it back out. Hall, who now drives on Houston with the left. Hall got it to go. Nice roll there from Malik Hall.
Look at the English.
Yeah, right on cue, as you said. Gets most of his points inside, makes a nice move, finishes strongly. Cuts the Michigan lead to 7.
Yeah, and this is a lineup for Michigan that is kind of battling that smaller lineup for the Spartans. They don't have a true center on the floor. Brandon Johns is battling against Julius Marble inside. The fast break opportunities should be plentiful for the Spartans.
Johns, no think three, swishes. Brandon Johns Jr., great start. Puts Michigan back up 10, and Brandon Johns didn't even think about shooting that one. Walker now, right side, Christie. Back up top, Walker thought about the three, now drives instead. Tried to finish it, missed it. Rebound goes to Caleb Houston. Walker made a nice move, but left the layup strong. Houston pushes the pace quickly. He finds a lane. Houston goes up with the right and misses it off the rim. Tough miss for Caleb Houston, who does a frustration foul immediately after on Julius Marble.
Yeah.
Houston's going to want that layup back.
I don't know why you'd go and commit that foul there. Kind of a head scratcher. But misses the layup, makes the foul against Julius Marble.
Gets subbed out subsequently after.
Yeah, and Musa comes in for him to get Michigan a little bit more size. We've seen more battles for rebounds, more shots inside for the Spartans. They've been able to get inside more often.
Hogard right by Buffkin, but he missed the layup. A.J. Hogard got the step, but blew a wide-open layup. Hobie Buffkin now has it. Inside working, going to be a foul on Diabate. Ball goes right back to Michigan State. Got a little too aggressive there trying to post up and has some words for the ref. Trying to plead his case. Won't change the verdict, though. Michigan State ball.
Yeah, I've talked about Terrence Williams trying to shake off that rust after the one game he played against Illinois. Diabate had a nice game against Illinois, but maybe he's still trying to get back into the rhythm of things. Definitely a fine foul call by the referee.
Couple go green, go white chance here as Michigan State's down 10. Bingham posts up, fading hook shot is good. Nice shot there from Marcus Bingham right over Musa Diabate. Cuts the Michigan lead to 8 as we approach 9 minutes to go here in the first half.
And Hunter Dickinson being off the floor has opened up a lot for Michigan State. They're
Yep.
not having to rely on the three. They're not having to rely on transition. They are getting inside and getting quality shots over smaller players.
Buffkin drives baseline, kicks it out. Williams, other baseline for 3 is good. Terrence Williams, big shot from the corner. And it seems like every time Michigan State scores, Michigan responds. 31-20 Michigan leads. 8.5 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, Michigan still shooting 67%. I mean, that's ridiculous. Michigan State shooting 44%. A disparity that big wouldn't lead you to think it's only an 11-point deficit for the Spartans. They can still come back.
Hall makes a move on Johns. Nice spin and a fading shot, but he missed it. Rebound goes to Hogard. Nice finish. A.J. Hogard with the tip back.
Hoger didn't blow that layup. He got it in. It was a nice shot by Malik Hall. I was surprised that it didn't go in. Looked like a pretty fadeaway, but Michigan State responding well to the onslaught of makes by the Wolverines offense.
Diabate, quick move right by Bingham. Got the layup to go. 33-22 Michigan leads. Just under 8 to go in the first half as the French flags wave from the Maze Rage, signaling their appreciation for the freshman. Tyson Walker, the forecourt. Hunter Dickinson and Frankie Collins at the scoring table for the Wolverines. Devontae Jones has not seen the court since getting subbed out after his second foul. Christie now works inside. Outside, Hall for 3 is no good, but he got fouled. That's the second foul on a 3-point attempt in this game as Hall, after the media timeout, will shoot 3 free throws.
Yeah, and those will be his third, fourth, and fifth free throws. Malik Hall, like I said, an electric off-the-bench scorer. But we saw with Dickinson off the floor, they want to sub him in as quickly as possible because Michigan State's been able to get inside. but the Spartans have just been able to penetrate easier. We'll see how out of this timeout if they can draw anything up to beat Dickinson inside as he comes and subs in. But been pretty, I'd say, the shot attempts have been pretty even in terms of their openness. It's just Michigan's been able to knock them down. Michigan State's missed some, but the Wolverines have just been really consistent on offense. And it shows in the score, being up 11, scoring 33 points with 7:30 left in the first half. They're on pace for, an 80-point game against a Michigan State team that consistently will have good defenses.
And coming into this game, this was a game that could go either way. And, considering that Michigan's up 11, Hunter Dickinson's had his first break of the game, about to check back in, and Devontae Jones with 2 early fouls, all according to plan for Michigan.
It's gone really according to plan. They do have the 17 fouls. Like you mentioned, Devontae Jones is in a bit of foul trouble, but when you're making shots, it all smooths over.
4 of 6 from 3. Some big shots from Terrence Williams. He's got 2 threes. Caleb Houston's also got 1. Joe's delivery of the game here in Crisler coming quite early. I usually make it out to Michigan games, and I think these delivery of the game sponsored by Joe's, they usually come a little later, but I'm sure the fans aren't complaining. I'm sure there are some hungry stomachs in the crowd.
I know Joe's is iconic, but I just wish they give away Detroit-style pizza instead of New York-style. Just makes sense. Yeah,
it does make sense. Joe's recently coming to Ann Arbor, I believe, 3 or so years ago, kind of took over the pizza game here. NYPD is always, a town favorite as well. But recently, Joe's Pizza and Michigan basketball struck some sort of deal, and they're doing the delivery of the game. Mini boxes going up to fans.
More of a Buddy's pizza fan myself.
Yeah. It's a classic Michigan pizza.
Yeah, and if I'm going for a regional pizza that's not Detroit style, I like Chicago style a lot. Deep dish, a real pie.
It's too much for me.
It's
a pie is what it is.
Sadly,
it's like a big pie.
In Greektown, downtown Detroit, Pizza Popolis, one of my favorite spots to get Chicago deep dish pizza, has closed. That was always fun to go to after a Lions game, after a Tigers game. But you move on.
In the middle of a media timeout, had some fun with the Joe's delivery of the game. 33-22 Michigan leads, 7.5 here to go in the first half. Michigan, excellent shooting to start as well as excellent defense, forcing some tough shots for MSU. Some things to watch. Devontae Jones, starting senior point guard for Michigan. 2 quick fouls. Frankie Collins has taken the point guard responsibilities since then. Players back onto the floor.
Malik Hall will go for 3 free throws after that foul on the three-pointer. Talked about his scoring ability. He already went 1 for 2 from the line earlier in the half when he subbed in. But this seems like a turning point in the game if Michigan State's able to capitalize on these 3 free throws, get it to a single-digit game, 8-point lead, and try and close out the first half respectably. Try and limit some of the makes for Michigan as Michigan's still shooting 67% from the field, or 71% from the field. My apologies.
Hall now 1 of 3 from the line as he misses his first. He's around a 72% shooter on the year. Second one coming up.
Still want to get it down to single digits, have the opportunity to do that.
Hall gets the second one. One more coming up from Malik Hall. 7:30 to go here in the first half. Hall trying to cut it to single digits, and he does. 33-24 game. Michigan still leads. Hunter Dickinson back into the game for the Wolverines. They run the double big man lineup with Dickinson and Diabate.
Maddie Sissoko in the game to guard Dickinson. I think Tom Izzo made that change out of the timeout to make sure Dickinson can't hurt them inside.
Sissoko matches up well defensively against Dickinson, a bigger center in comparison to their smaller ones. Dickinson, a couple jab steps. Mid-range is beautiful. Staring down the Spartan bench again. Hunter Dickinson.
You don't have to worry about any size of who's guarding you when you can just hit a turnaround jumper like that.
Collins almost picked off the pass. Sissoko recovers it. Walker now with 17 on the shot clock. Walker, Sissoko, left wing. Now gets to Hall, guarded closely by Diabate. Christie comes around the hand. That was going to be a foul. It's going to be on Sissoko. Comes into the game, immediately fouls on the offensive end. Turnover for the Spartans. Michigan basketball, 35-24, the Wolverines lead. Just under 7 to go here in the first half.
That's why Sissoko doesn't play too often. He's a sophomore. Still a little bit raw in terms of basketball sense.
Dickinson left wide open left wing three is no good off the heel. Rebound goes to Malik Hall. Place would have exploded if Dickinson made that one. Walker to forecourt, guarded by Frankie Collins. Walker now works with right wing, gets a screen from Malik Hall. Finds Hall wing. Thought about a three, doesn't take it. Behind the back on Diabate. Steps back, nowhere to go. Hands it Christie. Coming off the wing. Now guarded by Diabate. 10 on the shot clock. It's Christie and Diabate. Christie gets it. Sissoko quickly to Walker. 5 on the shot clock. Walker, deep three is no good. Rebound Dickinson. Excellent defensive possession for the Wolverines. And they're running. Brooks. Now guarded by Christie. Left wing slows it down a bit. Brooks now driving inside. Kicks Williams right wing. 35-24 Michigan leads. 6 to go here in the first half. Collins, right wing, gets an on-ball screen from Dickinson. Now working. Hop step inside. Dumps to Dickinson for the jam. Frankie Collins playing hopscotch on the Michigan defense and finds the big man for the jam. 37-24 Michigan leads. Just under 6 to go in the half.
Collins continues his great play, and he gets inside to dish it to Dickinson for a great dunk to get this crowd going. Limited student crowd, but that Dickinson dunk gets them on their feet.
Crowd is going here. 37-24 Michigan leads. Hogard now left wing. Tyson Walker now gets it up. Top of the key. Walker working off a Sissoko screen. Quick trigger, Christie from the wing. No good off the heel. Rebound, Eli Brooks. Excellent rebound over the big man for Eli Brooks. Brooks now pushing the pace. Gets inside with the left hand. Blocked by Sissoko. Great defense. Dickinson gets it back. Foul is going to go on MSU. Brooks pushed the pace. Took a hard fall on the baseline. He seems to be okay, though. Sissoko, excellent recovery.
That was a violent block by Matty Sissoko. It's not too often in college when you see a block like that.
Off the backboard.
Yeah. I mean, that came so strong off the glass. And that's what you get from Sissoko. You worry about him being a little raw, but he has the ability to block shots like that. Still gets subbed out. Pierre Brooks, the second, the Mr. Basketball of the state of Michigan last year, subs in for Michigan State. Doesn't get too much burn, but he's a good wing player.
Frankie Collins kicks. Buffkin driving baseline, tiptoeing along the baseline. Brooks now drives inside, finds Diabate. Layup. No, it's going to be a dunk is good from Musa. 39-24 as Michigan has exploded here to start the game. Just under 5 to go in the first half. Hogard runs the point for the Spartans. Gets it back outside. Hauser guarded by Dickinson. Hogard quickly. It's going to be Brooks. Back outside Christie. Guarded by Eli Brooks. On-ball screen. Christie, quick spin. Brooks is there, though. Christie floater. No good. Rebound Collins. Another excellent defensive possession for the Wolverines. And here comes Michigan.
Yeah, you said it. Really nice spin by Christie, but Brooks stays in front.
Frankie floats in the air. Can't get it to go. Dickinson offensive rebound, and everything is going Michigan's way. Now up 17, 41-24 Wolverines. Hall thought about the three, instead takes the mid-range, left it short. Probably should have taken the three there. The mid-range was contested.
Yeah, we talked about Hall being more of an inside shooter. You don't know if you really want him taking as many jumpers as he had so far today.
Brooks gets fouled. It's going to go on Hogard. As Crisler Arena has exploded. Standing ovation here late in the first half for the Wolverines. 41-24 Michigan leads, just under 4 to go in the half. And while Michigan's shooting the ball extremely well, William, their defense, especially later here in the half, has been impressive.
Yeah, it's just been Michigan State's inability to create their own shot and beat the defense. I think part of that comes back to their lack of size to be able to set screens on the perimeter. Hunter Dickinson can fight through a lot of those, and Michigan has the length on the wings. I'm kind of surprised at myself saying that because I've said all year the wing depth for Michigan is going to end up killing them. But I think they've been able to get over screens effectively and stop the Michigan State offense before it gets going. Eli Brooks has been great guarding Michigan State's guards inside. So is Frankie Collins. We haven't seen it a lot from Devontae Jones as he still has not come back in the game after that early foul trouble. But Michigan, in all facets of defense, from guarding the perimeter, guarding ball screens, and guarding on-ball drives, has just been great. In tandem with their lights-out shooting, 67%, 16-24 from the field. not much you can do about it if you're a Spartan fan.
No Devontae Jones, no problem for Michigan. And as you said, William, shooting extremely high percentages. 67% from the field, 57% from downtown, as well as perfect from the free throw line. Only 3 turnovers. Dickinson has 3 blocks of his own. How about this stat line? 6 of 7 from the field. 12 points for Dickinson. 6 rebounds and 3 blocks. No turnovers. A near perfect game for the big man.
Yeah, it's been, if he hit that 3, it would have been incredible. I mean, it still is an incredible performance, but just in terms of being so complete in his game so far today, a lot of people have talked about his NBA future as a player with kind of the lack of a three-point jump shot that's consistent. But he's proven he can really score from anywhere. He has blocked shots, gathered rebounds. He has been the complete player that Michigan needs, and especially down the stretch, Michigan needs an alpha to will them to victories to try and get them into the tournament, the NCAA tournament, that is.
And Hunter plays a lot inside, but, his shots are very diverse inside. I mean, he does hook shots, he does faders, he does mid-ranges, he does dunks. He's a very complete player offensively inside, has an array of moves. And as you said, William, if that three-point shot continues to come along like it has been recently, and if he maybe improves his quickness a little bit, that NBA stock could be rising.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd say 15, 20 years ago, Hunter Dickinson is a really high pick in the draft.
For sure.
He gives you everything you used to want in a center, but the NBA's changed. He's more of an old-school center like a Kofi Coburn, like a Drew Timme, players like that. But he still has the ability and the athleticism, the size to try and make it in the NBA. We saw Luka Garza. He's still sticking with the Pistons. I think Dickinson has a better NBA skill set to be able to keep up, just with the ability to be an effective defender. Maybe not with the foot speed to keep up with NBA bigs, but he can block shots. He can stay with guys with his strength and rebound pretty well.
Brooks took it out sideline, gets it right to Frankie Collins. 41-24, Michigan leads just under 4 to go. Brooks' inside pass is picked off by Christie. Tried to go the entry pass to Dickinson, got picked off. Tyson Walker to forecourt, calling a set for the Spartans. Gets it back, Brooks, now screen from Hall. Hauser pass fake, hands it, Walker left side. Gets it back to Hall. Christie tried to go baseline. Nice cut off there from Frankie. Walker resets the offense. 5 to go on the shot clock. Walker guarded by Brooks. Now guarded by Dickinson. Outside Hauser. Wide open 3 is no good. Rebound goes to Brooks, though, for Michigan State as they keep their possession alive.
Always fighting for rebounds. It's a Michigan State hallmark under Tom Izzo.
Walker gets it Hauser left wing. Couple dribbles. Getting in his bag against Hunter. Hauser now posting up. Kicks it back outside Brooks. Drives with the left against Bufkin. Layup is good for Pierre Brooks.
Like I said, Pierre Brooks is Michigan Mr. Basketball last year. He just has not gotten a lot of playing time with the Spartans. He has the ability to be one of those great developmental projects for Tom Izzo over his time at Michigan State. Look out for him in the next couple of years.
Brooks cuts the Michigan lead to 15. Just under 3 to go here in the first half. Frankie Collins calling the sets for the Wolverines. Collins quickly off a screen from Dickinson. Gets inside. Floats. Got fouled. His hang time is just ridiculous. And it's what allows him to draw a lot of fouls.
Yeah, Frankie Collins continuing his great play. He has been, he has 0 points, but he does have those 3 assists. He's played good defense. He knows what he is in the flow of this offense tonight. And he's provided some really good minutes with Devontae Jones off the bench. I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
Pierre Brooks, is he in the game because Tom Izzo is just frustrated with his players overall? They put a freshman in who doesn't play that often, and trying to get something going down 15 already early in the game.
I mean, Brooks is like a wing guy, so it's probably not to stop a guy like Dickinson who's been, going off tonight. Maybe, like you said, it's a frustration thing. Maybe the starters aren't getting the shots that Izzo wants them to. Brooks, though, he's looked good in his short time in so far. Had a nice layup. He gets the ball now, top of the key, hands to Christie. Back outside Walker, left wing. Gets a screen from Hauser. 41-26 here, Michigan approaching 2 minutes to go in what's been an exciting first half. Hauser thought about this theory, instead drives and Dickinson lost the ball. Ball is going to go to Michigan. Joey Hauser, turnover.
Hauser came over from Marquette. His brother Sam is already in the NBA, but Joey Hauser kind of been what could have been for Spartan fans. They think that he's underwhelmed in his time so far at Michigan State. He's been here, he's been in college for a while, already 22 years old, but Hauser really not been able to put it all together in the way that Michigan State fans would have wanted, especially as a highly regarded transfer. In a crowded front court, he's kind of been lost in a sea of, Julius Marble, Matty Sissoko, Malik Hall type guys.
Marble checked in for Malik Hall. Guarding Dickinson very, very high up top. Dickinson finds Williams driving baseline now. Terrence Williams, couple big steps. Gets to Collins opposite baseline. Tried to bounce it inside to Musa. Went off a Spartan foot. It's going to stay with Michigan. Frankie trying to make a play that, probably doesn't happen too often. Although the ball stays with Michigan.
Would have been cool.
Would have been very cool. Especially considering the lead and, the energy that this crowd has right now. Right wing going to be Musa. Now back up top, Terrence Williams. Gets it to Brooks, trying to get the entry pass, and he does so successfully. Dickinson now working against Marble. Deep two-point range. Dickinson back out Williams. Goes right back into Dickinson. Dickinson, big spin. Good cut off there by Marble. Dickinson forces his way inside. Missed it. Marble went off his hands out of bounds. Good defense there from Julius Marble, though. As Hunter Dickinson so far has been near impossible to stop.
Surprised an offensive foul was not called there. Hunter Dickinson trying to repost after that missed shot, put his shoulder into Marble. Good defense by Marble to keep up with the physicality, though.
Frankie Collins, left wing, gets it to Brooks, back to Collins. Collins pump fake, now drives baseline. Tiptoeing again. Williams corner three is good. Terrence Williams, 3 of 3 from downtown. And he's brought some life to Crisler Arena. Michigan now leads by 18.
Frankie Collins managing to stay composed when he gets bumped inside against the baseline. Gets it out to Terrence Williams for a nice three-pointer.
Marble spinning for joy. Threw up an air ball. Goes out to Hauser for the rebound. Dickinson had him locked up on the inside. Ball finds its way back to the Spartans. Whistle is blown.
Looks like Marble's hurt.
Marble shaking his right arm. Let's see what the whistle's for. It's going to be an official timeout. Could be a scoreboard issue.
I'd think they'd look at Marble, but he's not coming off the floor.
Marble,
so
yep, staying out there.
I'm unsure exactly.
Kind of an odd timeout here. Not really sure the reason.
On the scoreboard, it looks like they'll be reviewing something, maybe for a flagrant or some sort of.
Would this be when Marble was spinning inside?
It might have been on the rebound tip out. That was pretty aggressive on the tip out to Hauser. But I'm not sure. We're resetting. Referee's talking to Tom Izzo. Still have no idea, though.
No clue. Michigan State ball sideline. Marble looks like he's okay. Hands to Christie. Offensive foul on Max Christie. Another MSU turnover. Eli Brooks, the professor, schooling Max Christie, the freshman. Michigan basketball.
Yeah, continuing. Besides that win against Purdue, Michigan State has not looked good in the month of January and February. After a hot start, they lost 4 of 5 earlier before snapping that streak against in the win against Purdue. But Michigan State kind of returning to the play they don't want to return to.
Collins' step back mid-range is short off the rim. Good move, though, to get to his spot. 30 seconds to go here in the first half. 44-26. Michigan exploding to start the game. Christie, quick mid-range is good. Max Christie finding life. Gets a nice floater to go. 44-28, Michigan leads.
The first half has not. It could have not gone. It could have not. Oh man, it could not have gone better for the Michigan Wolverines in this first half. They're shooting so well, playing great defense, and in kind of a sparsely populated Crisler Arena.
There are some holes in the sections.
Yeah, lack of a big student section. They still got the crowd on their feet in a season in which we've heard a lot being asked of the Crisler Arena fans to be a little bit louder, be one of those top fan sections in the country. Obviously, in a rivalry game like this, the stakes are higher, and all Wolverine fans want is a big win over their rival in Michigan State.
Question for you, William. Would this win, especially a win of this nature, secure a spot in the NCAA tournament for Michigan?
No, I don't think so. With the slide that Michigan State's had over the past couple of games, I don't know if the committee will view this win as as big as it would have been maybe a couple games ago, especially with kind of the collapse of the middle class of the Big Ten kind of cannibalizing each other in recent games. The bigger problem for Michigan would be facing a good Iowa team who I think is better than this Michigan State team and a better Ohio State team on the road in Columbus. Those two games will be the key.
Final possession, first half here for Michigan. Eli Brooks has a nice crossover there. Mid-range is no good. Short. Rebound goes to Akins. 2 seconds left. Christie, Sky trying to get it off in time. He does not, it looked like. I don't think he did. The referee's going to review it. Got the layup to go.
He took a long time to put that up.
They say no basket. Good effort there by Christie, but a little too late on the shot. 44-28, Michigan leads by 16.
They're still looking at the play. Referees gathered around the scorer's table.
Clearly, replay shows that he did not get it off.
Still be 44-28. That's a big lead for Michigan heading into halftime.
44-28, 16-point lead for Michigan. This is what you want if you're a Wolverine. I mean, late in the year, especially considering their record 15-12, want some momentum going into the Big Ten tournament, another opportunity to further your tournament hopes. This kind of win would be huge for Michigan, even, as you said, William, if it doesn't clinch their tournament hopes. I mean, the nature of this win would just provide so much, motivation and momentum for this team.
Absolutely.
On the Michigan State side of things, though, big win against Purdue with their last game at home. How does this win affect their Big Ten and NCAA tournament hopes?
Well, I think Michigan State will still be a tournament team just because Michigan right now stands at 12 losses already heading into this game with the chance. I think the best case scenario in the next two games is to split away in Columbus and against Iowa at home. 13-loss team in Michigan, their tournament hopes would be less than, I'd say the Spartans finish the season with 11 losses. Spartans would obviously be ahead. But Michigan State, consistently a tournament team under Tom Izzo. We'll see if Phil Martelli can kind of snatch a tournament appearance out of the jaws of defeat following the departure of Juwan Howard with his suspension. But we'll see the rest of the game. Kind of a big lead for the Wolverines.
Michigan leads 44-28 by 16. It's halftime here in Crisler Arena. Crowd is split evenly seems to be even between Michigan State and Michigan fans. It's been heavy each way depending on the circumstances of the game. But we appreciate you turning into this broadcast at WCBN Sports. As we will now turn it over to Zach Balogh. William's going to stay on the call. He's going to move to play-by-play. Zach Balogh is going to take over color commentary. I'm Owen, and I'm signing off for WCBN Sports.
Welcome back to Crisler Arena. I am William Gregory. I want to thank Owen Klein for his excellent play-by-play commentary for the first half. I'm joined for the second half providing color commentary, Zach Balogh. Michigan still leading 44-28. Still have about 2 minutes before the second half will begin. But, Zach, what did you see in the first half that you liked for the Wolverines, and what did you see from the Spartans?
Honestly, in the first half, Michigan shot the ball really well from the arc, which was last couple of games have been struggling from the arc. They got 9 big points from Terrence Williams. He was free from the arc. They got another big free from Brandon Johns. Honestly, getting that bench contribution off the bench, especially from deep, was awesome to see for this game so far, because against Illinois, they were kind of struggling.
Yeah, definitely. And Michigan shot well from the field overall in the first half. That was part of the reason why Michigan just dominated and is still leading by 16. It wasn't that Michigan State played entirely bad defense. Michigan was just able to make shots. That's been the story of the game so far. What has also been the story, in my opinion, has been the ability for Michigan to dominate defensively all 3 levels, from three-point land, stopping on-ball motion and screens, to guarding the paint inside. We saw when Hunter Dickinson was off the floor, the interior defense was a little bit more porous with Musa Diabate or Terrence Williams, Brandon Johns guarding inside. Michigan State was able to get shots easier. But what do you think the key is for the second half for the Wolverines to be able to defend? Is it Michigan State on the perimeter, Michigan State inside, driving, limit fouls? What is it?
Honestly, in the second half, they got to limit fouls as well as really keep up the three-point defense, perimeter defense up well. They have a lot of good shooters, Michigan State. And that's one of the key things they did. Michigan has a size advantage with Hunter Dickinson. Michigan State's a little bit undersized down there. They do have a 7-footer in Bingham, but he's a little bit weight-wise, weighs less than Hunter Dickinson. So obviously for Michigan, just keep the three-point shooters cold for MSU. Keep the pace. Keep your pace. Keep playing away your ball, and you should get this dub.
Yeah, definitely. And Devontae Jones back on the floor to start the second half. He only played 3 minutes in the first half after 2 quick fouls he picked up. Frankie Collins and Eli Brooks picked up the minutes at point guard along with Kobe Buffkin. But Devontae Jones back on the floor to start the second. The veteran transfer from New Orleans, ready to run the offense as Michigan looks to protect their 16-point lead, entering a second half that means a lot for their future tournament implications. Musa Diabate, Devontae Jones, Hunter Dickinson, Eli Brooks, and Caleb Houston on the floor for the Wolverines. We have Walker, Christie, Hall, Marble, and Gabe Brown for the Spartans to start off the second half. Diabate inbounds to Jones. Jones passes to Hunter Dickinson at the top of the three-point line. Left wing back to Jones. Inside Dickinson in the post. Marble on him. Dickinson backing down methodically, keeping his dribble alive. Inside under the basket. Hook shot up and good. Hunter Dickinson kicks off the second half with a made field goal. Michigan State running back down the floor. Tyson Walker handling the ball for the Spartans. Devontae Jones on him. Pass outside Brown. Back to Christie. And a shot by Tyson Walker from the mid-range off the assist from Christie is good. First shot down for Michigan State.
Yeah, awesome possession there. First possession by Michigan. The last possession, getting the ball down low to Hunter Dickinson, going back to where their obvious size advantage down low.
Jones back to Dickinson inside. You talked about that size advantage, Zach. Dickinson working on Marble. Inside, Dickinson still pounding that dribble. Another hook shot, this time with the left hand. It's good. Went with the reverse hook shot last time. That hook shot straight up.
Yeah, when you're hitting three-point shots, you can keep Michigan State away from doubling Hunter Dickinson down the block as much.
Pass away from Tyson Walker. It's a three-pointer for Gabe Brown on the left wing on the return. Michigan 48, Michigan State 33. Another pass, we just saw that sequence with Devontae Jones passing inside to Dickinson with Marble on him. This time Marble fouls him, and Marble picks up his first personal foul inbound set for Michigan. Jones inbounds Houston, pump fakes, gets Gabe Brown in the air, now takes a shot as he relocates to his right, knocks it down from about 17 feet out, and Michigan still 3 for 3 to start the second half.
Honestly, Caleb looks a whole lot more confident this game, which is exciting to see.
Marble inside. Dickinson blocks his shot. Marble gets the rebound back. Still fighting for it. Jones comes away with it. back down the floor. Pass off Diabate inside. Misses the layup. Houston's got it back. Loses the ball. They'll call a foul on Michigan State. Series of quick events down both sides of the floor.
Yeah, great play there. Nice play, nice attempt, free layup attempt by Musa. Unfortunately, you got to make those, especially on the fast break.
Third foul for Gabe Brown. Crucial for the Spartans to be able to keep Gabe Brown, the senior leader, on the floor. One of their best scorers, best players, has great experience. Caleb Houston at the line. They call it a shooting foul. Houston makes the first free throw to make it 51-33.
Yeah, Wolverines have been hitting a lot of their free throws tonight. They're 6 for 8, so doing well from the free throw line.
Houston, we've seen him get activated after some shots made from the free throw line. Makes the second there. Nearly a 20-point lead for Michigan. Only 19 points. I say only, but it's been a dominant performance by the Wolverines offensively. Gabe Brown, top of the three-point line, setting up the offense. Christie, right wing, inside Marble on the right block. Long hook shot by Julius Marble. Just rolls off. And Eli Brooks comes away with it for Michigan. Pass off Houston at the top of the three-point line. Dickinson, pass to Brooks. Back out Houston. Long three-pointer is good. And Caleb Houston knocks it down from NBA range to make it 22 points. The lead for Michigan, 55-33.
Yeah, honestly, Houston, he struggled from free, especially against Illinois. There's some crazy stat out there that says Houston shoots better in weekday games than weekend games.
Nice up and under layup by Gabe Brown to pull back within 20. Devontae Jones fast break. Corner three, Eli Brooks from the left corner. Just short. Rebound, Gabe Brown off Spartans in transition. Christie, pass to Gabe Brown, long left wing three, off front iron. Rebound Dickinson, but he's knocked into by Julius Marble. Julius Marble picks up the foul, his second.
That's a huge foul there. Obviously, Izzo doesn't want to put Bingham against Hunter Dickinson, especially since he has a weight advantage against Bingham.
But Bingham does check in. His limited physicality has been just, it's led Hunter Dickinson to have a feast inside on him. But Michigan comes back down after the Michigan State foul off the missed shot. Devontae Jones, Diabate, now Brooks trying to get the entry pass onto the left block for Dickinson. Guarded by Bingham, face-up jumper. Dickinson misses that one, only his third missed field goal of the game. Off running is Michigan State. Christie travels with it off the pass from Tyson Walker. So on the left wing, Christie walks, turnover Michigan State, not the start they're looking for.
Yeah, definitely not the start. You want to, especially with that unlikely stop there, but made by MSU, you really want to make some points up, take away that lead a little bit.
Definitely. Still a 20-point lead for Michigan. They run the set trying to get the entry pass to Dickinson, but he stays on top of the three-point line. Dribble handoff, Brooks. Brooks now inside right block Dickinson, working on Bingham. Bingham reaches in and fouls him.
Yeah, honestly, there you go. Bingham was down low on the block. Hunter Dickinson had him in a position that he did not want to be in, and unfortunately he had to foul him.
Yeah, Bingham's second foul. Michigan State quickly getting into foul trouble after a relatively clean first half. Those big men choosing to foul Dickinson rather than go up with him. Nice inside pass to Eli Brooks. Misses the layup. Hunter Dickinson rebounds. Misses the tip in. Battled for it. Bingham comes away with it for the Spartans. Outrunning Walker. Christie, right wing. Sorry, Jaden Akins. Out to Gabe Brown. Left corner. Three is good. Gabe Brown.
That's not what you want to do if you're Michigan, especially Gabe Brown is one of Michigan State's best perimeter shooters. That's the one way they can get back into this game is giving up outside shots.
Jaden Akins checked in for Max Christie. Makes a nice pass to the corner for Gabe Brown for that three-pointer. Michigan back working with it. Houston entry pass now to Diabate on the left block. Joey Hauser on him. Diabate having to pass out to Devontae Jones. Jones trying to split the middle between Hauser and Tyson Walker. Loses the ball out of bounds, but they say it's off the Spartans. Timeout on the floor. Media timeout under 16 minutes, 15:35. Michigan still leading 55-38 off the last score by Gabe Brown, a three-pointer.
Yeah, honestly, a really good game so far offensively for Michigan, especially the second half. They've been hitting everything. One miss so far. So doing really good to keep this lead. for Michigan State, you're going to want to speed up the game somehow, which they've been trying to do, and you want to be getting some free-point shots going. So right now, Michigan looking good. If they can keep trading twos, they'll go in for a win.
Yeah, and it's been surprising the shooting that Michigan has been able to have with consistency. I said earlier in the first half that shooting, above 55% from the field is unsustainable, but Michigan's been able to do it. About 5 minutes into this second half, they continue to just drill inside and make shots. It's not come from three-point land. They are 6 for 10 from three. It has come from three-point land. My mistake. Michigan State still 3 for 9. State only shooting 42% from the field. Michigan still shooting that 57%, 21 for 37.
Yeah, really good shooting so far by the Wolverines. Unexpected three-point shooting from them. Honestly, like I said at the beginning of the half, Terrence Williams coming off the bench provided 3 big threes. Brandon Johns provided a big three off the bench as well. So, honestly, getting a lot of bench production, which is, for the Wolverines, has been a struggle lately. So, yeah, awesome game for the bench for the Wolverines. Honestly, they can last game against Illinois. Illinois was able to keep up that field goal percentage against the Wolverines in the second half. Michigan hoping to repeat Illinois' shooting success in this game, continue that, hitting those shots at high clips.
Yeah, Michigan really needs a good win coming out of that loss against Illinois in Champaign. We've talked about Dickinson needing to come out and prove he is the alpha for this Wolverine team to try and make it to the NCAA tournament, try and show out solidly in the Big Ten tournament. That's really the last shot the Wolverines have to get to the tournament in this cramped Big Ten. We've seen that maybe 8 teams will make it coming out of the Big Ten. It's always been a deep conference. This year, the teams have kind of cannibalized each other a lot lately. But Michigan's still alive in postseason contention. Juwan Howard obviously suspended until the Big Ten tournament, but Phil Martelli, with this performance against Michigan State at home and the performance against Rutgers, a hot Scarlet Knights team coming off of several ranked wins, he's proven that it's not all Juwan, and this Michigan team can still win without its head coach.
Yeah, honestly, some really good coaching from Phil Martelli to jump in on this unexpected lead for Juwan. He's doing a good job. Unfortunately, he did come across the blade against the razor blade of Illinois Sunday. They were just shooting. They could not miss anything from deep or down low with Kofi.
Traditional starting lineup still out there for the Wolverines. Aikens still on with Hauser for the Spartans. Houston, fadeaway jumper as the shot clock runs down, misses, rebound Bingham. Out to Walker in transition, running fast. Tyson Walker inside, stopped by Brooks. Back out, Bingham for 3. Rims out. Top of the three-point shot by Marcus Bingham, not traditionally a three-point shooter.
Yeah, honestly, good defense there by the Wolverines, giving them up that three-point shot.
Devontae Jones in the pick and roll with Dickinson. Cuts inside. Layup is good. Thought they called an and one. There was a whistle, but
it was. I think they're calling goaltending there, but it went in.
Okay,
anyways.
A goaltend on Michigan State. Layup went in anyways. 57-38. Michigan leads. 15 minutes now remaining in the second half. Moussa Diabate comes up on Walker to guard him. Eli Brooks stays with him. Coming off a screen, Gabe Brown shot misses. Battle for the rebound. Off of Michigan State. Bingham and Aikens both touched it. Michigan has the ball to inbound.
Really big defensive possession there, getting the ball back on a short offensive possession for the Spartans.
Michigan has just not allowed Michigan State to be able to come back in this game. Dickinson at the top of the three-point line. Pass left, Devontae Jones. Trying to get that entry pass, but Eli Brooks on the floor. They do call the foul on Jaden Aikens, a knockdown. Aikens arguing that it may have been a flop. Foul called anyways. And Michigan State in quick foul trouble to start the second half. Already 5 team fouls. Played a cleaner first half. The foul trouble in the second, not what they're looking for.
Honestly, a little bit of desperation ball from the Spartans being down 19. Not what you want, though, when you're being down 19 is get bad fouls early.
Dickinson inside against Bingham. We've talked about the size mismatch, but Bingham blocks his shot. Almost a double dribble by Gabe Brown in transition. Hauser back to Aikens at the three-point line. Now Hauser, right wing, working against Diabate. Back to Akins. Now Tyson Walker with Devontae Jones. Screen set, Bingham. Walker picks up his dribble shot. Long on the mid-range 2. Rebound Devontae Jones pushing it back down the floor. Jones, whistle blows.
Travel, I think, or
Looks like a foul called. They're going to review it. Officials motioning to take a look at that again. We'll see what the foul was officially. But right now we have a stoppage with 14:05 remaining.
on those fast breaks, Devontae Jones tends to get out of control, so really needs to slow down, especially when you have a 19-point lead, not do anything stupid, give a turnover up. Just slow it down. You got the lead. Play, let your offense set up. Don't try to push it, especially with a 19-point lead.
And they say it's a turnover on Moussa Diabate right now. Looked like maybe an illegal screen set by him that turns it over. He obviously didn't have the ball.
Yeah.
But officials, they'll call a foul on Moussa Diabate. Michigan turns the ball over. It'll be Spartan basketball inbounding from the far baseline from us behind the Michigan cheering section. Walker, Akins, Hauser, Bingham, Brown still on for the Spartans. Dickinson, Jones, Diabate, Houston, Brooks for the Wolverines. 14 minutes left, Michigan up 19. Marble working against Dickinson. High, pass away, stolen by Caleb Houston in transition, working against Hauser. Chase down, blocked by Julius Marble, but Caleb Houston is fouled. He'll go to the line for two.
Really nice defensive play. He was honestly just kind of there, but he got his hands on the ball, took it down the court, drew a foul on Hauser.
Caleb Houston with 13 points, 5 of 5 from free throw land so far. He's got attempt 6 and 7 here to try and bring back that 20-point lead for the Wolverines. First one good. Does make it 58-38. Terrence Williams checks in for Moussa Diabate. Matty Sissoko on for Julius Marble as Marble picks up his third foul. Houston back at the line. Michigan just trying to save the transition attempt as Houston bricks that free throw. Everyone back for Michigan as State is known for that fast break offense. Tyson Walker has to bring it up slowly. They'll settle into the half court. Pick set by Sissoko. Back out to Sissoko on the pass. He can't shoot. Back to Walker. Outside right wing, Akins, who nails the three-pointer. And Michigan State really only been able to rely on the three-point shot so far in the second half.
Honestly, big shot there. Trim it down to 19 instead of 17 instead of 20. So,
like you said, Zach, back down to 17. Entry pass by Jones into Dickinson, working on Sissoko now. Dickinson power dribble inside, hook shot off the glass is good, and Hunter Dickinson has got 18 points.
Honestly, it's been a huge game for Hunter Dickinson. He looks much better than against Illinois.
Floater just rims out for Jaden Akins on the fast break attempt for the Spartans. Devontae Jones pushes it up. Inside, Dickinson on Sissoko. Makes him look little as Dickinson hits another hook shot inside, 62-41. Walker outside left wing Hauser. Hauser inside to Sissoko. Sissoko inside. Gets that layup to fall, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line for one more.
Yeah, so far so good for very good for the Michigan offense. So looking good out there.
Sissoko, we've talked about him being raw, the sophomore. Interesting factoid, when I was at Michigan State last year, I transferred into the University of Michigan school this past season. I was in Matty Sissoko's freshman English class. Tom Izzo on the court getting irate at the referees. Fans at Crisler Arena on their feet as Izzo still not off the court, talking diplomatically now with the referees. Free throws will ensue still. Devontae Jones back up to talk with the Michigan bench with Sadie Washington. Boos for Tom Izzo resonating throughout the arena here in Ann Arbor. Matty Sissoko at the line for two. Excuse me, his shot there good on the and one attempt. Got distracted by Izzo, thought it was a two-shot trip to the line. Michigan back up, setting up the offense. Devontae Jones trying to get that pass into Dickinson on the left block. Jones, bothered by Tyson Walker, maintains his dribble and flips it up and in. What a move by Devontae Jones.
Nice play there by Devontae Jones. Looked a little bit disheveled there with Walker on him, but found a way to get to the basket.
Tyson Walker now on Jones, trying to flip the script for the Spartans. Still down 20 is Michigan State. Screen set by Sissoko, not a hard one. Walker stays with him. Rescreen called by Walker. No screen comes, and Walker is stuck on his pivot foot. Nice defense there by Devontae Jones. Rebound Dickinson. Wolverines running. Terrence Williams for three. Airballs that one. He'd been hot coming into that shot.
That was a heat check there for Terrence Williams. He was free for free prior to that shot from deep.
Akins tries to run it in fast break. He's stopped by Houston. Now he gets back under the basket. All the way under the baseline. Back out Tyson Walker. Another screen by Sissoko. Walker trying to work it against Jones. Back out Hauser, left wing. Now inside Sissoko working on Dickinson. Nice hook shot from Matty Sissoko over the long wingspan of Hunter Dickinson.
Yeah, nice offensive possession there for the Spartans.
Matty Sissoko with some quick points off the bench with the and one shot, as well as the make over Hunter Dickinson. Now he leaves him on defense, and Dickinson inside. Nice pass by Devontae Jones, and Hunter Dickinson makes it.
It's a travel there.
Oh, sorry, travel. But it was a nice pass to Dickinson. If he made it,
yeah,
would have been a good shot.
I don't think he was expecting the pass. So.
Yeah, it was my bad. It didn't look like a travel to me, but
yeah.
So still an 18-point game. Media timeout under 12 minutes. 11:08 remaining in the second half. Michigan State trying to battle back, but they just can't break that, 17 to 20 point lead that Michigan has been able to keep since the first half.
Yeah, honestly, Michigan State just needs some stops on defense right now, and they've not been getting those. Michigan's just going down to Dickinson, and he's just been burning him down low.
Michigan's still shooting 57% from the field, 6 of 11 from 3. That's good for 55%. Michigan State 4 for 11, 36%. It's just been a complete game for the Wolverines offensively and defensively to be able to make so many shots inside with Dickinson battling against the Michigan State bigs and being able to limit Michigan State in transition and in the half court.
Honestly, this is the game the Wolverines have been looking for, especially after that Sunday disappointing loss against Illinois. Especially being on the bubble, this would be a huge win and boosting their profile resume for the tournament.
Definitely, and it's been a game that I'd say Michigan's been looking for all year just because of the lackluster season we've seen so far. This team was not expected to be on the bubble. They opened the season ranked. Even with the suspension of Juwan Howard, that wasn't supposed to be an impediment if their head coach got suspended. This team should be talented enough to make it to the tournament. They just have not been able to put it all together, but recently in the past few games they've looked a lot better. And now up 18 against their most heated rival in basketball with 11:08 to go in the second half. Michigan looking to close it out.
Yep, honestly, if they keep this game trading twos with MSU, they should come up with the win. Michigan, like you were saying, Michigan was projected to finish top of the Big Ten this year. They were pre-AP top 25, number 4 in that poll. Unfortunately, a lot of young guys, a lot of production going to the NBA or going pro, and a lot of young guys taking a long time to gel has really hurt the Wolverines.
Definitely. Still in this media timeout. We're having the Rockout Cam in Crisler. Fans singing along to some hits. Trying to get the student section active. They do have some noodles that they're flailing around. It's been a more fun atmosphere than I thought it would be, given that this is our spring break. We've all returned home, or I've been home all weekend. Not able to go anywhere, but it's been fun to call basketball games. I'll be back for the Thursday game against Iowa. Very excited for that one as Michigan seeks to continue its tournament hopes, keeping them alive.
Yeah, Iowa's going to be a huge game, especially that one being at home. And then their last game is against Ohio State before the Big Ten tournament, which is, of course, away in Columbus, not an environment you want to go into expecting to win, needing a win to get into the tournament. Honestly, especially with 4 games in 8 days, you kind of want to get these home games. You want those home games to be wins and not really needing that away game to be a win against Ohio State.
Yeah, and Owen and I have talked about it. Michigan wants to keep winning these games to maybe get that 6th seed in the Big Ten tournament and get a first-round bye. Still a possibility with these 3 games left. Michigan State working it now. Jaden Akins on Eli Brooks. Gabe Brown inside the left wing with Brandon Johns on him. Back out Akins. Now inside Malik Hall. Terrence Williams facing up against him. Malik Hall dribbles inside under the basket. Pass out to Christie. Christie has to get it to Akins. Step back three-pointer is good. Jaden Akins off-balance three-pointer. And Michigan State, like we've said before, continuing to rely on the three-point shot in the second half.
Yeah, huge shot there by the freshman. Brings this game down to a 15-point game. Now you just need a defensive stop to make this more of a game.
Gabe Brown switches on to Devontae Jones. Jones inside. Pass. Trying to get into Brandon Johns, but it's kicked by the Spartans. Wolverines maintain possession. It'll be an inbound for Jones with Max Christie on him. Now he's got Eli Brooks. Back out Jones, right corner, working to the top of the three-point line. Inside. Shot from the left block, no good on the scoop layup. Michigan State running.
Big defensive possession there by the Spartans. Honestly, can break this game down to maybe a 12-point game, which would be huge for the Spartans.
Still a 15-point deficit for Michigan State. Gabe Brown working against Caleb Houston. Christie off a screen comes open, but Eli Brooks recovers. Christie pump fake. A contested shot there by Christie. He has not shot well today. Izzo not happy about that shot selection from the freshman. Now Eli Brooks back, misses a layup off right iron, and State outrunning. Gabe Brown pull-up mid-range shot is good over Caleb Houston. And Michigan State going on a little run, pulls within 13.
Yeah, huge defensive and offensive possession there for the Spartans, bringing this game down to 13. Now you have an outside chance. Really, with 9 minutes left, you can bring this game down even more with more great defensive possessions. But for the Wolverines, just keep pushing, keep wasting that clock. Honestly, if you just get a couple twos here, and you can put the Spartans away.
Definitely. But Devontae Jones, after some pressure from the Spartan offense, takes his inbound up to the Michigan bench, and Michigan calls a timeout with 9:24 remaining, 64-51. Michigan still leading by 13. Three-pointers been falling for Jaden Akins. Michigan State trying to battle back in this game, waking up offensively. They've limited the fouls after some quick ones to start the first half. Still stuck at 6. Michigan only 2 second-half fouls. Makes you wonder why Devontae Jones was kept on the bench for so long in the first half. Michigan obviously still winning big, but
honestly, he got early foul trouble with those 2 fouls. So, honestly, Phil Martelli took him off. Honestly, I thought Frankie Collins played pretty well in the first half, gave this defense, Michigan State defense, a different look, being a little bit more elusive, of being a little bit more elastic point guard that Devontae Jones is, more athletic point guard.
Yeah, and we've talked about how Frankie Collins has played well today, but we have not seen him yet in the second half. Devontae Jones has played these first 10.5 minutes in this second half, but as we come out of the timeout, we'll see what lineup Michigan comes out with. Brandon Johns and Terrence Williams have seen some burn in the second half at the forward positions, but for the most part, it's been Dickinson, Jones, Brooks, Houston as the players on the floor the most for the Wolverines. Seen a little bit of Diabate. He's come off at times. But now Michigan running small. We'll see if that can let up any more points and see if Michigan State can get inside to what they excelled at in the first half, which was creating shots inside without Dickinson on the floor for the Wolverines. But it looks like Michigan will return to a bigger lineup. Devontae Jones, Terrence Williams, Moussa Diabate, Eli Brooks, and Hunter Dickinson comes back out. Just a short rest for the big man, trying to keep up the defense as Michigan looks to close out this game. State still huddled up. in the timeout. Michigan out of it, spreading all over the floor. Definitely a longer timeout is needed for the Spartans, given their offensive troubles so far in this entire game. Still shooting 43%. Michigan down to 54. We've seen them above 55% for the majority of this game. Horn sounds, and we'll come out of this timeout. A crucial series for the Wolverines to put this game away. Ready to receive the inbounds is Terrence Williams II. Gabe Brown guarding. Dickinson setting up on the right elbow. Sets a screen for Devontae Jones to receive the ball right on the right side of the logo. Now Williams working right wing off the pass from Jones. Gabe Brown waving his arms. Eli Brooks comes free in the right corner. Pass inside. Diabate gets away. Diabate gets it back. Working on Malik Hall. Back outside. Jones for three, and it's good. And that is a huge shot for Devontae Jones to make to try and shut the door on the Spartans.
Yeah, honestly, huge shot. Devontae Jones against Illinois heated up from distance. He was cold from distance for the last couple of games prior to Illinois. So, honestly, huge shot there by Devontae Jones.
Gabe Brown working off the screen. Step back. Looked like he traveled, but gets inside to Sissoko. Long hook shot by Sissoko. Banks it in off Dickinson's over Dickinson. And Maddie Sissoko has shown some versatility inside, a lot like we see Dickinson play with some long hook shots, some face-up shots. Sissoko played well in his limited minutes.
Honestly, he's looked like the best big man for the Spartans this game.
We'll see if he can guard Dickinson. Dickinson takes a long face-up jumper on Sissoko, doesn't bother getting into him inside, and Gabe Brown comes away with the rebound off a bad miss there by Dickinson. Christie setting up the offense for the Spartans. Gabe Brown working from left to right now, settles at the top of the three-point line. Williams on him. Christie off a screen, mid-range shot good, and Michigan State shooting hot. Coming out of that timeout, that three by Devontae Jones proves big, as without it, Michigan State would be within single digits. Still a 12-point lead for the Wolverines, though. Inside Dickinson, but a foul called. Foul on Maddie Sissoko on the entry pass. His second foul. So with 7:46 remaining, Michigan enters the bonus, 67-55.
Honestly, Michigan State has cut down this lead based off hot shooting. Their shooting has improved. They've almost shooting 45% from the field this game so far. They've almost got their field goal percentage up to that. So really big offensive possessions by the Spartans and some big defensive possessions by the Spartans to lower this lead down from like 20 to 12 now.
It's been a really nice run for the Spartans. We enter another media timeout. Big long gaps been the theme for this second half. The play of Max Christie has been surprising to me. Me and Owen talked about it in the pregame. Christie and Houston, a battle of highly ranked freshmen. And we've seen Caleb Houston come out on top. He's shot nearly perfectly today. Great from the line. Couple three-pointers. He has continued his hot shooting over the past few games. And Christie, 3 for 10, 0 of 2 from three-point land, and he's got 3 turnovers. But we saw in the past couple series for the Spartans that Izzo is still comfortable having Max Christie handle the ball.
Honestly, I think the big story for the Spartans so far has been another freshman, Jaden Akins, stepping up, bringing some points to the game. Hit 2 big three-pointers for the Spartans, as well as an unexpected contributor in Maddie Sissoko coming in big, getting some points for the Spartans as well when their other 2 big men have gotten in foul trouble.
And those 2 three-pointers from Akins really keeping Michigan State in this game. Down 12 now after kind of stagnating to begin the second half between being down 17 to 20 points. Michigan needs a good set after this foul from Sissoko to put the nail in the coffin for the Spartans. Still in the media timeout. Guy in a Big Bird costume doing a Finish the Lyric contest. And he gets it right and wins the contest. Big Bird wins it. And the cheerleaders come back on for the timeout. But Michigan breaking the huddle. State still in it, talking. We've seen State take longer timeouts, make sense with their deficit throughout this game. But
Honestly, for Michigan State, this would be a huge win if they could come back. They've been struggling recently, so they only have one win in the last, I believe, 6 games or so.
And Sissoko picked up that foul on the last play before the timeout, but he has played well enough where I think Tom Izzo would be smart to keep him on the floor. He's provided 7 points, which is surprising, and he's been one of the most physical defenders Hunter Dickinson has seen. Hunter Dickinson, it seems like he's been stuck at 20 points for a long time. It was not too long ago where he'd only missed 2 shots. He's now missed 6 shots, 10 for 16. But with Michigan in the bonus, Dickinson will head to the line. It's the single bonus, so it'll be a 1-and-1. Dickinson has not attempted a free throw yet today. We'll see if he can knock this one down. He does get the first, so he earns the chance to go back to the line for the second. Extends Michigan's lead to 13. And now the second free throw. Up and good. The net didn't even move. Joey Hauser retrieves the ball for State and inbounds to Max Christie. Christie off to Akins. Akins working from left to right, settles at the three-point line. Jones on him. Back out Christie off a screen. Pump fakes a three-point shot. Clears out Akins. Hauser left wing now. Drives inside Diabate. Good defense. They call a foul there on Moussa Diabate. That will be his third personal foul. Not yet in foul trouble with 7:30 remaining. Something to keep an eye on, though, as Michigan State will reset out of bounds. Akins to inbound now. Deep pass to the left wing to Joey Hauser. Hauser working on Diabate once again. Now pass off to Tyson Walker, who just subbed in. Walker has to pick up his dribble and pass away. Hauser now on the right wing. Sissoko trying to get open inside, but Hauser drives in, and Moussa Diabate is called for the foul. Hauser will go to the line for 2, and like I said, watch those fouls. Diabate now has 4.
That's a huge foul for the Wolverines on Moussa Diabate. He's a very flexible defender, so honestly, when the Spartans like to go in these smaller ball lineups, he can guard 1 through 5. So huge foul for the Wolverines, and unfortunate foul for the Wolverines.
And Moussa, not really the impact you'd like to see on the scoreboard, but he has provided good defense. But now with those 4 fouls, he may be hesitant to play physical. First free throw misses for Joey Hauser. So it's still a 14-point lead for Michigan. Student section now back into the game. Hauser's second free throw nails it. He goes 1 for 2 from the line, cuts the Michigan lead to 13. Jones with Tyson Walker on him. Sprinting up court. Now settles. Running from left to right. Inside, outside, back to Williams. Now Williams pass inside Dickinson. Foul before he put the shot up on Matty Sissoko.
That's a huge foul for the Spartans and the Wolverines. That's Matty Sissoko's third foul. Honestly, he's had the most success against Dickinson for the Spartans this game.
And with Michigan State fouling the Wolverines enough to get them into the bonus, Dickinson, not a shooting foul, but gets to the line for the 1-and-1. Knocks down the first free throw, 70-56. 7:01 remaining. Second free throw up and good by Dickinson. He has knocked down the free throws he's had the opportunity to take. Marble subs in for Sissoko. For the Spartans, Walker takes it up. Gabe Brown has it. Pass, handoff to Walker. Walker holds, now gets a screen from Marble. Pull up 3, Tyson Walker. Rims away. Rebound Devontae Jones, and he's off and running. Pass to Terrence Williams on the fast break. Williams thought about the three-pointer, but passes away to Dickinson. Jones now, nice pick by Dickinson inside. Dickinson slams it home, and that might spell doom for the Spartans.
Yeah, honestly, nice cut there by Dickinson. He was wide open for the dunk, and nice pass there by Devontae Jones.
Offense needs to hurry up now for the Spartans. Gabe Brown has it, pulls away. Walker now to Akins. Akins pass inside Hauser. taking long time, 20 seconds off the shot clock, but Joey Hauser makes the face-up jumper over Terrence Williams to pull back within 15.
Yeah, huge shot there by Hauser. Brings it back down to 15 for the Spartans. Still have a fighter's chance at this game.
Houston now left wing, pass inside Dickinson. We've seen it all day on the left block. Dickinson working against Julius Marble. Dickinson inside, overpowers him and dunks it over his head. Foul called. Count it.
Holy, that's probably the most dominant play I've seen by Hunter Dickinson. Honestly.
Dickinson flexing all over this Crisler Center crowd. What a dunk.
Huge dunk.
And that might be the dunk that sends Michigan State home without a win. We saw it on a nice feed from Devontae Jones earlier, but this one was all Dickinson working inside, gets away from Marble, slams it home on the reverse, but he clanks away the free throw, misses it on the and one free throw attempt. Spartans have it. Walker working, pass away. Gabe Brown, left wing three-pointer off. Rebound, Joey Hauser. Max Christie flying in. Foul is called on Eli Brooks. Bit surprised the foul was called on Brooks there, as Christie was the one coming in fast. Dwayne Stevens talking to Julius Marble. Dwayne Stevens, the assistant coach for Michigan State. Marble receives the pass on the inbounds play. Gets it away to Tyson Walker. Screen set now by Marble. Pull up, mid-range shot. Walker knocks it down. Still not good enough, though. Michigan State remains down 15, 75-60. 5 and change left in the second half. Jones has it. Not pushing it. Slow and methodical, trying to burn this clock. Jones spins away from Walker, trying to get around some screens. Gets to the right wing, pass off Houston, dives inside, loses the ball, gets it back. Caleb Houston now inside to Dickinson, but it's stolen by Julius Marble.
Honestly, that was just a freshman's mistake there by Caleb Houston. He was feeling a little pressured there, losing the ball.
Tyson Walker running inside, runs into Hunter Dickinson and is fouled. A bit upset. He did not make the and one there. He had a clear layup opportunity, but he missed the rim. He'll go to the line for 2. Walker at the line for his 2 free throw attempts. Misses the first. And you see the game slipping away, the frustration from Walker after that missed free throw. He'll try for the second. Student section making noise. Couple dribbles for Walker as he sends that free throw home. 75-61, 4:49 remaining. Michigan State putting on the press. Williams inbounds Dickinson across the logo. Maintained by the Wolverines. Jones working on Walker now. And Tyson Walker with a nice on-ball steal, out and running his State. Joey Hauser dunks it off the assist from Walker. Quick fast break bucket for the Spartans, excuse me.
That's a way the Spartans can get back into this game is on-ball turnovers. Get those fast break opportunities, get some easy baskets, and you're back in this game.
Crowd looking for a foul on Jones as he sort of pushed off Tyson Walker. No call. Michigan retains. On the right block, Dickinson, nice spin move, and another dunk. Julius Marble cannot guard Hunter Dickinson. Dickinson strutting his stuff across the midcourt logo.
Yeah, Hunter Dickinson has 30 points, which is a lot for the big man.
No three-pointers. We don't see that often.
Yeah.
But a foul called on the floor. Dickinson grabbed Marble on the other end. Maybe the energy running a little too high. Nonetheless, Michigan leading by 14, 77-63 as we enter the last media timeout with 3:57 remaining.
Yeah, honestly, another thing that Hunter Dickinson has done a lot is on the defensive end. He has 4 blocks this game, which is huge. He's 1 rebound away from having a double-double. So obviously a huge game here today from Hunter Dickinson. Much-needed boost by Hunter Dickinson this game.
Hunter Dickinson with those 30 points. It's been incredible to watch. Michigan State can simply not guard him on the low block. That's what we talked about coming into the game. Michigan State's lack of strength inside. They do have some height to match up with Dickinson, but Hunter's strength is unmatched by a lot of players in the Big Ten, maybe Kofi Coburn, some other players, but
Yeah, honestly, Kofi Coburn is probably the only person who's stronger than Dickinson in the Big Ten. You got Zach Edey for Purdue, who's also pretty big, but a little bit. I think Dickinson has weight on Zach Edey from Purdue.
yeah, Edey plays a little bit of a finesse game for a player his size, I'd say. Seeing some comparisons to a player like Sean Bradley, the 7'6", former NBA player out of BYU. But outside of Dickinson's 30 points, Caleb Houston has 14, but it's been relatively balanced. Eli Brooks had those quick 6 points to begin. He's gone 3 for 10. He's been cold. But Devontae Jones, after that foul trouble, he's got 7 points in the second half. Terrence Williams has those 3 3-pointers. Missed the heat check. He airballed that one. But the scoring relatively balanced besides Hunter Dickinson's 30 points.
Yeah, honestly, bench points this game for the Wolverines has been huge, especially, obviously I've been mentioning this earlier, Terrence Williams has 3 3-pointers in the first half off the bench, as well as Brandon John's 3-pointer off the bench. So honestly, that's a big storyline for the Wolverines, has been lack of bench production. This game they've gotten the bench production, plus they've gotten Hunter Dickinson going off on offense.
Yeah, and that forward play by Johns and Williams has really given Phil Martelli confidence, I think, to leave Moussa Diabate off the court in stretches. He's comfortable playing Williams and Johns, and especially with Diabate's 4 fouls, I'd be surprised if we see him in the remainder of this game unless it gets close.
Yeah, I'm not expecting to see Diabate unless this game gets to a single-digit game. Yeah, honestly, Terrence Williams and Brandon Johns looking really good tonight. Maybe we're seeing Brandon Johns from last March Madness coming back a little bit. I don't know about that. He hasn't had a huge thing, but maybe he's feeling a little bit more confident.
We'll see who comes on the floor for the Wolverines to close out this game with 4 minutes remaining. For the Spartans, it's Marble Christie, Tyson Walker, Gabe Brown, and Joey Hauser. Hauser's played well in some minutes. Julius Marble will step to the free throw line. Off that foul from Dickinson, Michigan State enters the bonus. Terrence Williams, Hunter Dickinson, Caleb Houston, Devontae Jones, and Eli Brooks for the Wolverines to close this one out as we enter the home stretch of this spring break game. Started late. It was a COVID postponement, but Michigan's shown out in contrast to their previous matchup against the Spartans.
Honestly, it's been a reversal of what happened last game against the Spartans. Spartans absolutely ran Michigan out of the stadium, Breslin Center, last game. But this game, the Wolverines have returned the favor and running out the Spartans out of Crisler.
Marble misses the front end of a 1-and-1 as Julius Marble checks into the scorer's table for the Spartans. Eli Brooks working inside Dickinson with Marble still on him. Pass out Houston as the double team comes. Houston drives inside. Nice move. And the layup goes in off the nice spin put on it by Caleb Houston.
Honestly, nice drive there by Houston. He's struggled on that this year. Looked really confident going to the rim there.
Tyson Walker left open from 3, takes it. But a foul is called on the screen from Julius Marble that got him that wide open. 4th personal foul on Julius Marble as Michigan enters the double bonus. Terrence Williams inbounds, Devontae Jones. Tyson Walker on him closely. Dickinson on the top of the three-point line, pass off Brooks. Brooks guarded by Christie, working from left to right. Seen that set a couple of times. Devontae Jones now has it up top. Passing around the wings are the Wolverines. Brooks could have took the 3, but a pass inside to Dickinson rewards Eli Brooks with the patience. Dickinson passes back inside to Brooks. He makes the shot. And Tyson Walker, furiously running down court for the Spartans, gets a layup to go. But this game is running away from Michigan State, 81-65 with 2:40 remaining.
Yeah, honestly, this game might be out of reach for the Spartans by now.
Foul called against Joey Hauser. Hunter Dickinson was on the ground. Michigan will be in the double bonus as they take free throws here. 3rd foul on Hauser. Dickinson still 4 for 5 from the free throw line. He was perfect, but he missed the and one free throw attempt after the monster dunk that got this crowd on its feet. First free throw by Dickinson, no good. But he still has his incredible 30-point game so far, 13 to 19 from the field. Went 0 of 1 from three-point range, 4 of 6 from the line. We'll see if he can make this second free throw.
Yeah, honestly, huge all-around game from Dickinson. 30 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, and 4 blocks so far this game. So
gets the second free throw to go. Michigan ran all the way back. Everyone but Dickinson was past half court to stop the Michigan State transition. Inside goes Max Christie, and a slam dunk foul by Dickinson. Gets the and one. Too little too late, though, for the Spartans.
yeah, this lead is just too big for the Spartans to make a comeback.
Christie, first shot in a while. He's only got 8 points, 4 of 11 from the field. He'll go to the line for his first free throw attempt of the game. It goes down for MSU. 82-68, 2:30 remaining in the second half. Michigan just looking to keep it calm, cool, calm, and collected to close out this game. Jones working on Christie inside Dickinson on the left block. Joey Hauser now on him. We've seen a gaggle of big men trying to stop him for State. Hauser looked to play good defense, but he fouls Dickinson, and Hunter Dickinson will go to the free throw line.
Honestly, that's just cruel what Tom Izzo's doing to Hauser. He's not going to be able to do anything against Dickinson. He's just going to keep picking up fouls.
We've seen Hauser, we've seen Marble, we've seen Sissoko, Bingham. Bingham hasn't even really seen the floor to end this game. He just has been such a defensive liability against Dickinson. But, I mean, Michigan State can't check Hunter Dickinson without fouling.
Yeah, honestly, if this keeps going, Hunter might have 40 points by the end of this game.
Wouldn't be surprising. We've seen a lot of free throws to close this game. Dickinson makes both his free throws, 84-68. Christie running it for the Spartans. Sissoko screens. Now pass to Sissoko. Christie gets it back on the handoff. Floater long for Christie. Sissoko trying to go for the rebound. Falls all over Devontae Jones.
Honestly, scary play there for both players. Could have ended badly, an injury for either one.
But Crisler Arena on their feet as the bench warmers will come in for the Wolverines. Devontae Jones, nice move inside off the rebound. Timeout called. And it'll just be a quick timeout for some subs as Jace Howard, Adrian Nunez, Frankie Collins, Jaron Folds, and Kobe Buffkin enter the game for the Wolverines. Haven't seen Kobe Buffkin a lot so far in the second half. We have seen Frankie Collins. He played well. Adrian Nunez, this is his first time on the floor. Jaron Folds and Jace Howard as well have not seen minutes so far today, but they get in at the end of this blowout.
Honestly, I haven't needed to see Kobe out there. They've done a lot well without him out there. So
in for the Spartans is a couple of their bench warmers. Keon Coleman, the football player, number 40, checks in. He plays two-way along with Malik Carr. Pass there stolen by Matty Sissoko. Pass off to Smith, who has it working. Screen set by Pierre Brooks. Jace Howard fouls on that play. At the line for the Spartans, Davis Smith will go. Quickly gets to the line in his first minutes in this one. Smith first free throw, no good on the front end of the 1-and-1. Battle for the rebound. Sissoko comes up with it. Jaron Folds could not corral it. Long three-pointer. Keon Coleman just rims out. And a foul by Jaron Folds on Matty Sissoko battling for the rebound.
honestly, this is really cool for a lot of these guys on the floor who don't get a lot of minutes for both teams. So honestly, some good experience, some good minutes coming out for these kids who don't get to play a lot.
Yeah, a lot of interesting stories. Pierre Brooks, we've talked about him earlier, the Mr. Michigan. Davis Smith doesn't get much burn for the Spartans. Keon Coleman, the Spartan football player, And then for the Wolverines, Jace Howard, the son of head coach Juwan Howard, Adrian Nunez, famous as a social media influencer. Jaron Folds. Kobe Buffkin and Frankie Collins do play quite a bit for the Wolverines, but good to see them on the floor. The two young guards that should take over the reins for Eli Brooks and Devontae Jones next year.
Yeah, huge experience for both these young guards and everyone else who doesn't really get to play. So, awesome to see.
Frankie Collins, right side Nunez. Now Jace Howard working on Coleman. Coleman strips it away, and Sissoko takes it for the Spartans. Pierre Brooks now working against Buffkin. Pull up three. Brooks air balls. Nunez comes away with it. Sorry, Frankie Collins comes away with it, but he is knocked out of bounds. The ball is knocked out of bounds by Davis Smith. Off of Collins, goes to Michigan State. Jaden Akins will take the inbound for the Spartans. Apologize for the time malfunction on the scoreboard. Still working out the kinks. It is 42.6 seconds remaining in the second half, not a minute 12. The score is correct, 86-69. Davis Smith has it for Michigan State. Now Coleman gets a screen from Sissoko. Coleman drives inside, loses it on a wild dribble. Jaron Folds comes away with it. Battle for the ball. They'll
Call a foul on Maddie Sissoko.
call a foul on Maddie Sissoko. Could have gone both ways as a jump ball or a called foul, but Sissoko just couldn't get his hands around the ball. Keon Coleman goes over to head coach Tom Izzo to talk. Jaron Folds gets to the line on the double bonus foul by Sissoko. Folds taking his first shots from any range so far tonight. First free throw long off back iron. 31.8 seconds remaining, 86-69. Michigan remains in the commanding lead. Folds' second free throw good, 87-69 now. About 30 seconds remaining. Inside Akins, quickly dribbling, recovers. Pierre Brooks now right side, inside Sissoko on Folds. Sissoko working, hook shot, foul by Folds. And we've seen a lot of free throws to end this game, in a game that should have been over pretty quickly given the blowout nature of it.
Yeah, honestly, there's some silly fouls going on out there right now.
A lot of players that don't get much playing time, maybe not entirely up to snuff in terms of Big Ten defense. First free throw by Sissoko rims out. Sissoko will go back to the line. 20.5 seconds remaining. Maddie Sissoko trying to break 70 points for the Spartans. He does. 87-70, 20.5 seconds remaining. Frankie Collins will dribble it out for the Wolverines. And an absolute clinic by Michigan on both ends of the floor. From three-point land inside, Hunter Dickinson with 33 points leading the Wolverines. A great all-around performance for Michigan, keeping their tournament hopes alive.
Yeah, honestly, huge win for the Wolverines, especially after that Sunday loss against Illinois. This was considered a must-win for the Wolverines, and they did it. They got a win over their in-state rival. Huge win, especially in terms of resume building. So next game, the guys, Iowa Thursday, another huge opportunity for the Wolverines.
Yeah, March 3rd, Thursday against Iowa. I will be there on the call for WCBN Sports. The next game after that is the regular season finale in Columbus against Ohio State. That Iowa game will be senior night, but that regular season finale against Ohio State. We were planning on going there. Some last-minute drops. We will not be attending that game, but look out for other WCBN Sports coverage of the women's basketball Big Ten tournament, the opening round of the men's hockey Big Ten tournament, and our continuing coverage of baseball and softball as those seasons get underway. For Owen Klein, Zach Balogh, I am William Gregory. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight in the 87-70 Michigan Wolverine win over the Michigan State Spartans. Thank you all for coming. Good night, and go Blue.